Hello, and welcome back to Afternoon Drive here on this Thursday afternoon in Newburyport. My name is Drew Moholland. I hope you're enjoying your afternoon. It is a bit balmy out there for this time of year. Relatively nice day. Snow is melting away a little bit, so that's a good thing. Again, hope you're all having a good week here. Friday, right around the corner. Gonna kind of jump right into this. We got some good stories of the day to talk about. I will actually, usually I'll start the show with kind of that little opening, but today I'll get right to our first guest just for time considerations, and we'll kind of do the headlines at the end of the show. Pat Sheehan, now the former coach of Triton Vikings football, he dropped the news that he's going to step away from the Triton Vikings football program. Last night it kind of was made public, and I know I was a little bit caught off guard, and I think a lot of people were. So we're going to talk with Coach Sheehan in just a minute here on WJOP Radio and on the TV, on the stream. Hello to everybody tuning in on the television. So let's do that. We'll take our first break. We're going to take a quick 30 seconds. We'll come right back. We'll introduce Coach Sheehan and get right into this here. Don't forget, you can follow us at Joppa Afternoons right here on the Twitter handle. I see the stream is up and going. So there you go. Twitter at Joppa Afternoons. I just tweeted out that we have Coach Sheehan on. So hopefully that generates some excitement. We're on Channel 9 today on the TV. So tune on in. Thanks for tuning in. And we'll have Coach Sheehan here in just a moment. Keep it here. You're not going to want to miss this. It's Afternoon Drive with Drew Moholland. All right, and welcome on back to Afternoon Drive here on Joppa Radio and streaming on the television. Hello. Hope you're all having a good day. So we're off and running here. Our first guest, and a guy who I've had on past shows before. Always a great guest. I've been in his kitchen to do an interview before. We were talking about that off the air. But Pat Sheehan, he's always been very good to me personally as far as these interviews go. And he's been the head coach for the Triton Vikings football program here for how many years now, Coach? It's
8 years.
8 years. Good run. You stepping away. So first of all, let's just throw it out there. I'll let you take the stage. What's the deal with stepping away? Big news.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for having me on, Drew. Appreciate it. Very few people can believe it, but
I can't believe it.
No one seems to believe I'm telling the truth right now. Everyone thinks I'm either, if a coach leaves, or either pushed out, or something happened, or they got a new job, or a family concern, or a health concern, and it's unequivocally none of the above. Every off season we evaluate and reevaluate our goals and seem to, and if I can't say that I'm 100% committed to the Triton Viking football program, how could I possibly ask 60 players to be 100% committed to the program? So I'm not done coaching. It's a passion of mine, but I'm done coaching at Triton.
So if you're looking for a lot of gossip behind the scenes, you're not going to find it in this case. That's the deal. None of that. Just looking for a change, and that's it.
That's it.
Quite a few seasons. I remember, what was it? Was that 2 years ago when you guys made that run all the way to the...
This 2 seasons ago, we Division III North champs, and ran into a buzzsaw in Hanover in the state semis to get to Gillette. But
the state semis, though, people that don't follow it that closely, that's an amazing run.
Yeah, it was a really good
that's
year.
that's as far as you can go. You get there, and so you've taken this program to as high as it can go, and maybe that's part of the reason why you feel comfortable turning it over a little bit. But it's been an amazing run for you. I know you're very proud of it.
Yeah, definitely. Very proud of everything we accomplished. And I say we because I absolutely mean it was definitely not an individual effort between the administration, which has been amazing, and there's been some turnover in the administration, but everyone that I've had, from superintendent down to athletic director, and all the faculty and staff at the school, my assistant coaches, I've been lucky enough to have some loyal assistants over the years, and some people that I've been with for at least the last 6. Ted Flaherty, Ryan McCarthy, Sean McGilligot, Ken Shute, to name a few. Who've been there through thick and thin. There were some lean years in the beginning. 0-11 to start my career, and then 1-10 season in my 3rd season, and then I think we kind of settled the ebb and flow of it a little bit for the last 6, but it was a lot of fun.
You followed like the Coach K model out of Duke there. He always says if he was starting coaching when he did, he'd be fired in the first couple of years because of this. He was happy they stuck with him.
Absolutely.
But you did a great job. Do you hope? I know you're not done with coaching. That's obviously the next natural follow-up question. It's not like you're out of coaching. You're just looking for the next thing, right? That's safe to say.
That's safe to say. I'm in no hurry right now.
Yep.
And if I have to, at some point I'd like to be a head coach again, and I don't know when that would be. But maybe a higher division, more kids in the school.
Yep.
I think it'd be cool to play, the Everetts of the world,
right.
and the bigger schools. Just a bigger stage and see if you can compete with those guys. But for now, if I have to take 2 steps backwards and be an assistant for a year or 2, that's fine too. I couldn't possibly leave Triton, who I have so much respect for, in a bad situation if a job that I was really interested in opened up a little late and I kind of jumped ship not at the right time.
Gotcha. And do you hope, I know you for somebody who does care so much about the program, do you hope one of your assistants jumps in, or what would be your ideal?
I hope they get the right man for the job.
Yeah.
Whoever that may be. I've encouraged some of my assistants to apply for the job, who I think would do a really good job.
Yep.
The administration, in particular, Sean McGinnis, the athletic director, knows that the importance of this hire, and they're going to do their due process and make the best selection that they possibly can for the student athletes.
Yeah, he had some very nice words for you via the Twitter there last night, I know. I'm actually pulling it up right now because I was going to read them for you. I know you've had a chance to read them, but after 8 years at the helm, Coach Sheehan has announced he's stepping down. Words can't express how much he has meant to the program, our students, and the Triton community. We wish you the best, Coach. So certainly feels like a kind of a nice parting of the ways there, and I know those words mean a lot to you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've heard it through text messages, Twitter, emails, coaches throughout the league and really the North Shore, former players
who still don't believe you.
People, no one believes me. People in the school, a lot of nice things to say, and a sad time on both sides. I think, and I hope, but also a real amicable breakup and. That's just what it is.
Yeah. Do you? I can imagine never coaching myself, but I can imagine a big decision like this when you've been in a place for 8 years. This obviously isn't something that you think about overnight, and it's probably not something that really is just you either, right? This is like a family thing. This is kitchen table. This is. I'm sure you talked with your brother about it, who's the head hockey coach over at Triton now, and a lot goes into these sort of things, doesn't it? I don't think people realize how stressful they can be.
Well, one thing I heard from a coach that I really respect, Neil Weidman, is the head football coach of Linfield a long time ago, is within the season, jot down thoughts and feelings and keep a kind of a journal of how the season's going and some roadblocks that you may hit, some good things that have happened, and I've kind of done that every single year, and I have a list of just things that happen over the course of the years. And
how long is this journal?
It's I couldn't find my first season, but I can find my last season. And then because I didn't want to be a coach that just comes back because that's what you do. I want to come back because I'm still 100% committed and still want to bring the Triton football program to as high as we can possibly bring the program. And I just couldn't say that this off season, and didn't think it was fair to the kids to just hang on because that's what you do. Yep.
What did your brother say? I'm sure you bounced some advice off him, right?
He said to do, as most people, if you don't think you want to go back, then don't go back. It's too much time, too much effort, too much commitment, too much time away from my family to be 1 foot in.
Yeah, is it too many Sheehans at the one school? Is that what it is?
That could be, absolutely. He's got a big head, and I don't mean an ego.
Yeah, no, I hear you. And it was certainly a big decision. I know, and you do talk about the timing. You think about, you hear about the pro coaches all the time. These guys are staying, really almost have no lives. They're staying late night watching film. It's really not all that different as a high school coach, is it? You guys are putting in so much time. I know you're very dedicated, especially when you're making runs to Gillette Stadium. It's a full-time job that feels like a full-time job sometimes, doesn't it?
It absolutely is. But obviously in season, it's 7 days a week, and it's 5 hours a day. It's with practice, with planning, with film breakdowns, with organization of the program, emails going out, all sorts of things. And then the off season is
crazy parents. You didn't say that.
I didn't say that.
I said it.
Triton's been great with the pit.
There you go.
It has. It's actually my athletic director and I always joke. It's like Mayberry. It is. It's a really great place to work. So if anyone's out there listening that is interested in applying for that job, I wholeheartedly support that decision because
look at you. Nice.
It is a great place. It's a great place to work. But the off season really gets to you too. 7-on-7s and workouts in the morning before school or after school, coaching, development at clinics and things like that. There's a lot of commitment if you want to do it the right way.
I bet there is. What's going to be the toughest part? Is it like that first practice come next year when you know that I bet the thing that always strikes me, and this is just bound to happen. Every kid that plays, usually these days, you play 4 years at a sport, say you start as a freshman, the turnover is a lot more than it used to be with coaches. A lot of these kids do have at least one different coach switch over, so it must be tough for you to kind of look at the seniors maybe and say, you know what, guys, this is it for me. Is that the toughest part, kind of the upperclassmen, is maybe telling those guys?
I mean, Tuesday when I met with those kids, that was one of the hardest.
Is that when it was, Tuesday?
That was Tuesday after school. That was one of the hardest things I've ever done in my entire life. And I'm looking at those seniors who, have expected me to be their coach through their senior year and be on their sideline, and that was a really emotional time. And you're not even just thinking about them; you're thinking about all the seniors that you always had that kind of put their butt on the line for you and under your leadership. And it was a really emotional time. That was the hardest part. I mean, I expect to be coaching somewhere next year on the sidelines, and that will kind of fill a big void. But leaving Triton and the work, effort, commitment, and relationships that have built over the past 8 years is something that I'm going to really cherish, but miss at the same time.
Well said. All right, we'll take one quick break here. Again, we're joined by Coach Pat Sheehan. He has stepped down as the Triton Vikings football coach, and this is very new news. You heard him just say he just told his players not 48 hours ago, so it is very good on him to come in here and make some time for us in what, as you can tell by, I notice you keep checking the phone. I think you're still getting messages here about as this news kind of trickles out, so it's very good of you, though, to make some time for us here. Let's do this. We'll take one quick break. We'll come back with more with Coach Sheehan here, and we'll cover some other ground in just a moment. Again, it's Afternoon Drive on WJOP Radio. My name is Drew Moholland. We're on the TV as well. Hello to everybody at home. Thank you for watching, and we'll be right back. Afternoon Drive, WJOP Radio. All right, welcome on back to Afternoon Drive here on WJOP Radio. My name is Drew Moholland. It is Afternoon Drive, and you've probably noticed, as far as I'll talk to the people mostly on the television here, having a little bit of trouble with the WJOP actual radio. We got some technical difficulties here over the last week. Issues very much beyond my pay grade. I won't try to tell you what they are, but so we're going to just be on the TV, and right now we've actually included this little mechanism here, the YouTube stream. If you're looking to get us and you're not in the area, if you're out at work or something and you want to pull us up on the YouTube Port Media stream, do that. This is kind of a new thing, and it's right here. Very cool. Anyways, we'll move on. Our guest here today is Pat Sheehan, the former Triton Vikings football coach, stepping down the other day and moving on to a different thing. Of course, he's not gonna tell us what. I don't even know if he knows what. I won't ask him any of this stuff, but he will be leaving Triton, and I do wonder, Coach, as far as this big change in your life, what does what all goes into it? You mentioned your brother, a lot of conversations. Is this like a month in the works? Have you been thinking about this for months, or is this end of the season? How does that work out?
Yeah. That's a good question. I think.
Thank you.
Really sitting down and ironing out, my goals and personal and professional moving forward. Probably the last 2-3 weeks, it's really been on the brain. But you're constantly thinking about your future and what it takes. I have a baby due. I have a 2-year-old at home and a baby due any minute.
How about this? Congratulations!
Yes, I have a girl at home.
I was unaware.
And a young boy that's going to be born
very nice.
truly February 4th, but. He'll be early, so I got January 18th. That's what I got.
You can predict these things?
That's my guess. So there's another life-changing event right there. But no, it's just. I think it would be wrong to not reevaluate and constantly, align your goals if when you're going to be in charge of so many people.
We've kind of covered all this now, so I just want to let me move on to what has actually happened with this Triton football program. Came in kind of a rough spot. Those first 2 seasons, not exactly pretty, as you mentioned at the beginning, record-wise anyway. When you're winning 1 game over 2 seasons, which was your first 2 years, is there part of that when you can start to see things turning, even though 1 win? I know it doesn't look good on paper, but as a coach, can you start to see things progressing and things are going in the right direction? Is that like a really great feeling for a coach, and then you get the payoff down the line?
Yeah, well, it was actually 0-11, then 6-5, then 1-10.
Oh,
we had
that's interesting. Okay.
We sandwiched a 6-5 in there, but 0-11.
How'd you do that?
We had really good players. But the 0-11 season.
Not fun.
Not fun, but really respect the heck out of that group. We lost 8 of our 11 games by less than 7 points. They came every week to practice and worked their tails off, and they competed. Our mantra for the last 7 years has been "We compete" at Triton High School, and they competed every single game. It's easy. And I'm very proud of this past season, going 5-6, because it's easy when you're in a rut to stay in that rut, and it's easy when things are going well to get on board and be committed and keep things going well. But when you're in a rut and they're able to change it in the middle of a season, like we did this past season, we were 1-6 and finished the season. We were 2-6 and finished the season 5-6. Went 3-0 in November, and a great win on Thanksgiving. That was a real testament to these kids. So I could look at as many positives in that 0-11 season as I could in the 9-3 season when we won the Division III North title. It's just
it's the life of a coach, right?
It's the life of a coach. It's just really proud of that whole thing. But from the beginning to the end, it was probably the best thing for me to go 0-11 my first season, because I was the offensive coordinator at Linfield the year before, and we went 10-1 and lost in the state semifinals. And I thought I was pretty good.
Pretty humbling, huh?
I thought Triton football was going to win 7 games just because I was standing there. And I realized fairly quickly that I need some good coaches around me. I went out and hired some of the best coaches. Ted Flaherty, I can't say enough about his defensive mind and just coaching acumen in general. Sean McGilligot, the former head coach at Triton, who I actually worked for as an assistant for a year at Triton. Phenomenal coach, phenomenal mentor to me. Ryan McCarthy, who was the offensive coordinator at Newburyport for a long time.
And the baseball coach.
And the baseball coach at Triton came on. I mean, there's 3 head coaches on your staff people don't have that around here, and I was really lucky to get those guys.
No, that is great. I talked to a coach before they played you this past year, which was the 5-6 year, and he had mentioned that it's a little bit of a different Triton team compared to the one that went to Gillette. Not quite the same team, but he said, "Let me tell you, those guys fight still. I mean, there's no easy out when you play those guys." And which I thought was a pretty good compliment for the head football coach at Triton.
Great to hear for the Triton program. A lot of pride in the program. I mean, we took Marblehead in our first game of the season, who went 10-1 on the season, and perennially since I've been at Triton, phenomenal team coached by Jim Rudloff, who's done a phenomenal job. We lost to them 16-9 in the first game, and fought tooth and nail every step of the way. And they go on to go 10-1 and lose the game before Gillette Stadium.
Let's talk about that miracle ride a little bit, because I know, what coach wouldn't want to talk about a run that takes you to Gillette and makes a season like that with all the hardware that came along with it. That was the 2 seasons. That was the 2015 teams. The 2015 team. 2016, because now it's 2018.
Now it's 18,
how about that? Yeah.
2016.
The 2016 team. You guys were it was like the greatest show on turf, but on at Triton. You guys were throwing the ball all over the place, and all sorts of talented guys. And I think you had some guys that made some college teams. If you can correct me if I'm wrong on that, but a really just fun ride for you. That must have been awesome.
Yeah, it was. In terms of wins and losses, our best season, and it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmys and the Joes, as they always say, and we had a real good team. Our quarterback Louis LaRue is currently playing at Mass Maritime and started this past season.
That's cool.
On defense. Was as good a high school player as I've coached, and not to be outdone, Liam Spillane, the offensive player of the year in the Cape Ann League. I mean, we did throw the ball a lot, but that was the first year we actually ran the ball considerably more than we threw it because Liam was so good. He's currently at Bates, playing football and lacrosse.
He was a solid running back.
He was a solid running back.
I would not want to get on his wrong side.
He was about 2 1/4 and 6 feet tall, and he could move, punishing running back. So, and then we had the alignment of the year. I mean, it's when you have good players, they make a coach look good. So.
Well, I know that's very modest of you, but what was it saying against it's not the X's and the O's, it's
Jimmy's and Joe's.
There you go. Okay, yes. I getcha. That's good stuff. This Cape Ann League I know holds a. I mean, you're a guy who knows this area very, very well. Never mentioned the fact that you just coached 8 years here. You're gonna miss a lot of the rivalries here because no matter where you end up, there is something unique about just the. It seems like every night when you play somebody, there's some sort of embedded, call it hatred or whatever, but there's some sort of deep rivalry. Something has happened along the line. Just I don't know if it's the proximity of these schools or just the fact that the league hasn't changed too much over the years. You're gonna miss the rivalries in this league?
Oh, absolutely. It's such a great league in terms of rivalries, and even more specifically the river rival region, the Pentucket, Newburyport, Amesbury, Triton, Ipswich crew right there. I mean, those guys, every week one of those two teams is playing each other, and that's great to go to those games, to be part of those games. I still don't think there's a better place to play than Amesbury on a Friday night. That old World War stadium, World War II built stadium, Landry Stadium, I should say. Natural turf. They got the neon lights flickering in the corner of the end zone, and it's a great place to play. Playing Masconomet at Linfield, North Reading, Hamilton Wenham. Probably missing some Cal teams, but it's just there are great coaches in this league, and there's no easy outs. There's never an easy out. And when I first got to Triton, I mean, there was Steve Hayden, who's still kicking around. He's been the head coach at Pentucket since the year I was born.
Sharp as can be, eh?
Absolutely.
Last
year.
He can
outrun me and probably bench press me too.
He is in good shape, isn't he?
He's in great shape. Ed Ganiano, who retired a couple years ago.
Still very much involved, though.
He's a mentor to Coach Smolsky, definitely. Coached and coached with Coach Smolsky.
Do you know Coach Smolsky pretty well at Newburyport?
I do, just a little bit. I do. He's been in the scene. It's the river rival region. We all know each other. And I do. I spoke to him on Monday night to inform him of my decision, and he was,
Isn't that funny? You almost feel that obligation to tell the other coaches, listen, guys, I'm leaving the pack.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we've been here for 8 years, and those relationships and those 20 minutes before a game that you chat with these guys, and the league meetings and chatting with these guys, we're lucky. These kids and the communities around here are very lucky to have these coaches because they're in it for the right reasons. They're in it for the kids. They're really good role models from what I can tell.
That's good stuff. I know you're going to get out of here in a couple minutes. Let's do this. We're going to take one quick 1-minute break. We'll end with just a couple final thoughts with you, Coach Pat Sheehan. I might even get your thoughts on the Patriots game here this week. I want you to give me a prediction. I know you're going to get out of here. But one real quick break, and we'll finish up with Coach Sheehan. Pat Sheehan, the former coach of the Triton Vikings, nice enough to make some time for us here, just hours removed from the big decision to leave Triton. So we'll be back and finish strong here with Coach Pat Sheehan in just a moment. My name is Drew Moholland. It's Afternoon Drive on WJOP Radio. All right, back here. Final couple minutes with Coach Pat Sheehan, former Triton Vikings football coach, stepping down now after 8 seasons and a couple really, really good ones too. Coach Sheehan, I guess I know you're gonna get running, and again, thank you so much for making some time for us today. It was I know I can tell it's been hectic for you, as these decisions always are, but it was really nice of you to come in. We appreciate it. Sure. Final thoughts here. I guess, why don't I give you the floor just to say, one last goodbye to the Triton and Cape Ann League community, because, of course, this gets heavily played in Newburyport as well. So I'll give you a chance to just say goodbye to everybody on the kind of the formal microphone stage here. Here we go. Final thoughts, though, from as you head on out of the Cape Ann League.
Yeah, I think I mentioned it. Well, I don't know if I'm heading out of the Cape Ann League. Who knows what that is.
Oh, I'm sorry. I did not mean to. I did not mean to jump to conclusions.
I'm a North Shore guy, so it's North Shore, Cape Ann League, or Northeast Conference, I guess.
What a mistake. I am so sorry.
No. Again, I can't stress enough how truthful I'm being with this decision. But I just want to thank all my players, everyone in the league. It's been a great ride. I'm not going too far. I'll definitely be on the scene somewhere, some capacity. Honestly, there's nothing in the works at the moment, but I'm still gonna coach. And I think I mentioned it earlier, but I do want to stress again, if anyone's listening that is interested in going for a job, do not look for reasons why this might not be a good job because I left. Because it is Mayberry. It's a great place to work. The new stadium is fantastic. The administration, Sean McGinnis, our athletic director, I've had a great relationship with for my 5 of the 8 years that he was the athletic director. The kids are second to none, hardworking, and there's great support. Friday nights at Triton High School are really special. The fans sections are great. It was great 8 years.
I can tell you're going to miss it.
Yeah, I am.
That's good of you. And every coach thanks the players first, huh? You did it again. That's good stuff. I always like that.
Well, they're putting all the work in.
Yeah, not all the work. That would be a lie. I think we know that. Well, anyways, it's kind of a busy time for football, huh? We got a little Patriots game Saturday night.
Yeah.
I know you get your eye on these pro football games.
Absolutely.
They go all the way to the Super Bowl. How's this work out?
I don't see anyone in the AFC that can beat them.
Yeah.
I mean, they played like a dog against Pittsburgh and still won the game, and I imagine they'll bring their A game in the AFC Championship. And unfortunately, you never look past an opponent. But I luckily am not coaching in the game, so I can say that I don't think Tennessee is going to give them much of a game.
Well, there you go. There's your prediction. Also, winter watching. I know you're keeping a good eye on your brother over there at Triton. Sure. Big win last night.
You're
proud of that guy, I know.
Saturday at Linfield. That's a big one. The alma mater.
Coach Ryan Sheehan, for those of you who don't know, coaches Triton hockey, and I know you guys are very close. How much fun is it getting over to the rink and watching your brother coach some hockey games?
It's good. It's actually, usually have a lot of stress watching your brother compete, do whatever it is, and as a head coach, you're that's even more. My mother's an absolute lunatic when she goes to my football games or my brother's hockey games. I know that.
Tell me you told her about the decision before.
I did. She was not too happy. I'll tell you. She doesn't know what she's going to do on Friday nights in the fall.
She likes things planned out, does she?
She loves it. But no, I'll tell you what. It's a little bit easier. He played goalie at Linfield High, and when I was in college or a year out of college, going back to watch his games, that was a lot of stress watching him when your brother or your son or whoever it is a goalie, because it seems to always fall on him.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Coach, you've given us your Patriots prediction. We've caught us all up to speed here on the past Triton and now the future, as much as you could tell us anyway. And thank you so much for making some time for us. I know you're going to run, and I know you're a busy man. Never mind the fact that we got a baby on the way. Again, congratulations to you and your wife. That's great news. And so now what? You got a toddler already, and now you got a new baby.
2-year-old girl and a new baby boy coming.
So you're eyeing like what, 25 to sleep? Is that about right?
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, happy New Year to you with all this going on. I know it's exciting and a little bittersweet with the Triton thing, but I know you're excited. I can tell. And all the best to you. I appreciate you making the time, and good luck along the way. We'll keep in touch.
Appreciate it, Drew. And give a shout out to Jess.
We'll do. Jess Harrington. I might even have her on the radio here to take us home at the end. That's Pat Sheehan, Triton Vikings. He has stepped down as the football coach for the Triton Vikings, but nice enough to make some time for us here today. And he did a great job with that Triton program over 8 years, and on to bigger and better things for Coach Sheehan. So very kind of him to make some time for us today. We'll take one more quick break, and when we get back, we'll bring the show home here. It is Afternoon Drive on WJOP Radio, streaming on the television. Hello, folks. We'll be right back. Keep it here. All right, and welcome on back to Afternoon Drive here on WJOP Radio, streaming on the television. Hello over there. Thanks for tuning in on this Thursday, rather warm Thursday in Newburyport. It is Gonna push like 60 degrees tomorrow. We get some rain. I was hearing today from a lot of the experts, you should really be getting the snow off your roofs, folks, if you haven't done that yet, because when the rain comes, it gets the snow heavy and could collapse your roof. So you don't want that to happen. So that's a good idea here as it gets warmer and the rain coming tomorrow. Obviously, a big weekend on tap in the sports world with the Patriots playing. We just talked a little bit about that with Coach Pat Sheehan. Actually, kind of a unique thing happening right now as we are on the air here. The Boston Celtics are playing that game in London. They are down to the Philadelphia 76ers right now, 21-17. 76ers lead in the early stages there, first quarter. But very cool going to London. They've had a bunch of days off here leading up to this, so the NBA has been doing that thing, trying to expand the product to 30-23 now, Philadelphia, as my phone updates, but trying to expand the product and go across the pond and all that stuff. So that's why I'm wearing my Celtics hat here, which I actually don't like. I was just telling Coach Sheehan that I don't think I like this hat. It's probably going to be the last time you see it. Who knows? Maybe it was a Christmas gift. I shouldn't be saying that. But anyway, one of my big helpers today here is Pat Sheehan is now headed out the door. We've talked many times that this show is going to be a lot of newsmakers, and really doesn't have to be sports, doesn't have to be news. It just has to be somebody who's in the headlines and interesting topics, essentially. And obviously we hit on that today with Coach Sheehan, just fresh off his stepping down, Coach Pat Sheehan from Triton Vikings football. But we're also going to add a producer of the day segment to this show here, and hopefully have a new producer every day, maybe the same producer, but somebody producing the show every day, working these cameras and doing all that sort of stuff. And today we had a fantastic producer of the day. Her name is Jess Harrington, and she is a Newburyport High School grad who is now at Temple University. Hello, Jess. Say hello.
Hey, it's awesome to be here. Thanks.
It's awesome to be here. How about that? So what is up with you? You're on school break. Is that the deal right now?
I'm going back on Sunday, so I'm kind of getting ready to go back, but I'm enjoying my time here while I have it.
You're going back this Sunday?
Yeah,
wow.
Sunday morning early.
So the break is over. Did you have a good break?
I did. I had a great break. I love being home, being in Newburyport, seeing my family and all that jazz.
And all that jazz. It is beautiful. I kind of like it with the snow on the ground, isn't it?
Mm-hmm, totally.
What did you do for the holidays, Jess Harrington?
I always have my family over. We have it was almost we called it like a little party.
At your parents' house, you mean?
Yeah, my house is
How many people?
Probably about, I think it's like 10 plus my family, which is 4. So
okay, pretty good group. Yeah. What's so you're at Temple right now. How's Temple going? You enjoy it? You love it?
I love it. I love it. Yeah,
that's fantastic.
It's crazy different than being home. Philadelphia is crazy, but it's amazing.
So yeah, you were telling me a little bit about Philadelphia last show when you were behind the scenes here, but you love the city, a lot of fun, good spot to go to school.
Best spot to go to school.
The best spot.
And it's cool because a lot of city schools, like maybe in Boston, you don't get that campus like school vibe.
Yep.
But we do have a great campus, and we also have the city right down the street, so it's the best of both worlds.
Yeah, that is cool.
Could not ask for more.
Do you know a lot of Newburyport people that have gone to Temple, or are you kind of a trendsetter in that regard?
I know. So one of my high school grad peers also goes to Temple, and then I know of one other student who just graduated who went to Temple.
Okay.
So it's a huge school though. So
yeah. How many people? How many students?
About 39,000 with grad. So
that is bigger than I thought.
29 undergrad, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's growing. That's a big thing about Temple, is that it keeps getting bigger. Always expanding.
And you're a sophomore, you said, right?
Mm-hmm, yep.
So sophomore year, it is kind of weird, isn't it, coming back home during these holiday breaks for extended periods of time? Mom and Dad, do you still have a bedroom? I remember one time I came home and the bedroom had turned into an office. I was like, what has happened here?
Oh no.
I know. Thank you for your sympathy. I appreciate that.
I actually have 2 bedrooms now.
2 bedrooms? How did that happen?
I moved into my older sister's bedroom recently. Kind of my step up.
So it was a hostile takeover.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, that's good. You like being back. So how long is the winter break for Temple? Have you been back for like a whole month now?
Yeah, 4 weeks.
4 weeks.
It's solid.
It is.
Definitely good.
And that last week before winter break, you got all the midterms and everything? Is that the deal?
Yeah, I was really lucky. I had maybe 1 midterm, and then the rest were projects, so I could kind of anticipate them coming. I'm more of like a project kind of girl.
Yep.
I definitely prefer projects over tests, so it worked out for me.
So at Temple, Jess Harrington, what are we studying?
I'm newly double majoring in media studies and production.
Double majoring. Who are you trying to impress?
And my second major will be geology. So I'm starting that this upcoming semester, which is going to be totally different and crazy, but I'm really excited for that. So
the double major, that is you kind of just breezed past it, but people don't, I think, realize how much work that is. That is a lot of work.
Twice as much.
You're a busy person. Is this just your style? You like to go all in on things, or what?
I think it's more about me figuring out where I want to be.
Good answer. I like that.
Yeah, I started at Temple not really knowing. I went in communication, knowing that I was going to change, and I definitely knew for 100% I missed science. So I was just not getting that fix of science that I knew I just needed personally and in my just academics. So I was trying to figure out where I was going to fall with that. I didn't love the environmental science track, which would have been my alternative. I didn't love the classes, the requirements, and just how that looked. And then I found geology, and I was super excited to find it because the description is just right up my alley. It's all about finding ways to conserve nature and fight climate change, which is my thing.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Cool. You get some good professors and all that?
I love
some favorites.
Yeah, totally. Shout out to Dr. Vacker. I'm going to Arizona with him.
Dr. Vacker?
Vacker. Yeah, Barry Vacker. Good man. He was. I had him for my first semester in freshman year, and I'm so excited to go to Arizona with him on his trip.
What is that trip? What does this entail?
We're going to Arco Santi. It's about an hour from the Grand Canyon. We're also going to be staying a night at the Grand Canyon, which is going to be amazing. We're studying media, technology, ecology, so basically the human relationship with the environment and technology and how it all relates. So basically the idea is we're getting out of the city to kind of get an objective look about where we stand and where we're at.
Wow, that sounds very intense. You ever been to Arizona?
I have not, so I'm very excited to head out to the desert.
Yes, I hear it's fun. Be careful of the cactuses.
Good, yeah.
That's great that you get to move around, and only sophomore year too when you're doing all these trips, so that's exciting. What's do you guys venture off to the city a lot to do stuff? Or I mean, you said you get the best of both worlds. I can imagine it's easy to get kind of trapped on campus a little bit.
Yeah.
Does that happen, or do you get off a lot?
A lot of people do end up not leaving campus. So I did a couple interviews my last year, and I was talking to people about just kind of their interactions with public space and what they kind of deal with in this urban environment, and they tell me that they haven't ever left campus and all this, and I was super surprised by that, I guess, because people who I was talking to came from an urban space, so they weren't as ready to be immersed into this urban space. They're kind of used to it basically, and so I'm the opposite. I'm totally ready to jump into this new city environment, so I'm in the city probably 3 times a week just exploring. There are ridiculous things to do. I could just name a few. I've been to a pillow fight in our pajamas just in Center City. Ridiculous fun, so much fun. I actually got a bunch of good footage for that, so that was great.
That sounds unique.
That's all that Philly is just unique. My favorite place is South Street. You can find anything from Jamaican food to just your normal shop to magic crystals to a sex shop to anything goes on South Street, and it's hilarious and a really good time to just get out there.
That is too funny. Do you find yourself having a lot of visitors? You get a lot of family visitors or friends, or a safe mix of both?
I definitely encourage my friends to visit me as much as I can. It is obviously it's 6.5, 7 hours from Newburyport, so it's a bit of a hike.
Is that what the drive is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My family, they come when they can, and they're always welcome. I love having them there. So.
What's it like coming back? Is it cool to come back and see all the high school friends here during the holidays and all that stuff?
Yeah, it's definitely fun to see everyone. It's relaxing, mainly. It's relaxing because I guess in the city it's always you need to be doing stuff. There's no excuse not to be doing something new or something fun or just work in general. So I love to come back here, relax by nature. Nature is something that I miss a lot and that I get my fix of here at home. So.
Yeah, it certainly is beautiful around here. Well, Jess Harrington, let's do this. We'll get a couple minutes left, so we'll take one quick final break. We'll come back and figure out what the heck has brought you into the radio studio and whether that has a future. Jess Harrington, our producer of the day. She is at Temple right now, about to go back Sunday. So this is our last chance to meet Jess and say thank you for good producing here on the Afternoon Drive program. She produced the first half of this show with Coach Pat Sheehan, the former coach of the Triton Vikings. He was nice enough to join us as well. Again, thank you to Coach Pat Sheehan, who had to jet out of here, but thank you for Coach Pat Sheehan for joining us. We'll have more with Jess Harrington in just a moment. My name is Drew Moholland. This is Afternoon Drive on WJOP Radio and streaming on the television. Hello to everybody out there. All right, welcome back to Afternoon Drive here on WJOP Radio. My name is Drew Moholland. Hello to all of you watching at home. And thank you so much for spending some of your Thursday afternoon with us. We had a great first guest with Pat Sheehan, the now stepped down coach of Triton varsity football. He did a great job there for 8 years. He is busy as can be. I was watching his phone, text messages like crazy come in on his phone still even today, 48 hours after the news started to leak about his stepping down from Triton. It came as a bit of a surprise, but you got a good explanation from him on why he's doing it. Just no real gossip behind it or anything, just needs to move on and thinking a different plan in the future. So take a listen to that interview. It'll be up on YouTube, the Port Media stream, and I'll make sure I post it from the @Joppa Afternoons Twitter handle @Joppa Afternoons. So I'm joined by Jess Harrington. She is the producer of the day here today, telling us all about her time at Temple, back here on Christmas break for just a couple more days, leaving Sunday, and kind of a good day to talk about this, as it's like almost going to be 60 degrees here tomorrow in December after a snowstorm. As you probably heard in that last segment, Jess is very involved in climate change and all this stuff, and I know you wanted to talk a little bit about it, Jess, so tell me what you wanted to talk about here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always talking about it, so it shouldn't be too hard.
Always, Jess, always.
Always. You can ask my friends at school, but they honestly, they support me, and they really do support me a lot. So
climate change. You're a big climate change
advocate. So basically, what I focus on in my life and hopefully in the future and with my work at school and whatnot, the big problem behind climate change that a lot of people don't really know or think about or talk about is the fact that the food industry is actually the main contributing factor to energy resource waste and also carbon emissions. So when you think of carbon emissions and energy waste, you think of transportation and gas and oil. And gas and oil is definitely part of it, and so is transportation, but the truth is the animal produce industries are actually the biggest waste. So that's what I focus on, and I basically, I just recently started my first website. It's now up and official. It's eatingtoendclimatechange.com.
Wow, big news.
Yeah.
Eatingtoendclimatechange.com. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm really excited about that. It's been a long coming development for the past probably 5 or so months.
A lot of work keeping up a website?
We'll find out. But yes, definitely. And I mean, as we were just talking about, I'm going to be very, very busy. So I have a lot of plans for this upcoming semester in terms of getting more healthier, environmentally friendly options involved at Temple, as well as just in my day-to-day life through people I talk to and whatnot. I also have an Instagram page that I have recently started. It's @eatingtoendclimatechange. You can follow me there, and I'll have information for the website there as well.
Very cool. Well, you are a very busy person, a very busy sophomore at Temple, Jess Harrington, and a Newburyport High grad. And thank you so much for being the producer of the day. You did a great job. Did you have fun?
Yeah, it was awesome. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, see, that's what we need. We need the smile there. That's good. So future producers of the day know how much fun you can have in here. It is fantastic. So thank you very much. You excited to get back? Going to be good to get back Sunday?
Can't wait. Go Owls.
Go Owls. There you go. Basketball team's got to get a little better.
We weren't doing too bad this season. Watch out for us.
Actually, I think they had a big win last night.
Yeah, we've had a few.
Okay, maybe I was okay. Yeah, all right, fair enough. Very good. Do you go to the games?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely try to get there.
Pretty. Is that like the big athletic thing to go to? The basketball games?
Football, basketball, yeah, those are the main ones.
Gotcha.
For sure.
Cool. Well, very good. Have fun. Safe travels.
Thank you.
Back to Philadelphia, the 6 or 7 hour ride, as you said. So, producer of the day, Jess Harrington, a Newburyport High School grad, sophomore at Temple, heading back on Sunday. Thank you so much for producing the show and jumping in at the end here and helping bring us home. Also, want to give a big shout out to Pat Sheehan, the now former head football coach at Triton. Did a great job for 8 years. Always been very kind when it comes to interviews, including on a day like today when I know everybody is trying to get at him for answers, and he's having a baby. My goodness, he's a busy man. But he and his wife are having their second child. So congratulations on that to Coach Sheehan, and all the best of luck in your future moves here, which hopefully we learn about at some point in the near future. But Coach Pat Sheehan, nice enough to come on and give us a great interview here today and kind of fill us in on why he's leaving and what's next for him. So that was very good. Don't forget, folks, you can follow us at Joppa Afternoons on the Twitter handle, at Joppa Afternoons. The issue with the radio, for all those of you who are watching and have noticed that it is not on the radio, we're having some technical difficulties, some major problems that are not, like I said, kind of above my pay grade when it comes to this. I'm just not I don't exactly know what the technical guys are talking about, but something's wrong with that. They're going to fix it soon. We'll be back on the radio soon. For now, enjoy us on the television, and thanks for watching, and thanks for streaming us on the YouTube Port Media YouTube station. So that's going to do it for another show. We'll see you back here next Tuesday. Have a great weekend. Go Patriots, all that stuff. Stay safe. My name is Drew Moholland. This has been Afternoon Drive on Joppa Radio. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next week, everybody.